It's that time, 6 o'clock, live in the city of Los Angeles. This is your host, Duane Cofield, Drug Leaders to Businessmen podcast. You are tapped in. This is the weekly tap in, and I'm tapping in. What's good, peoples? It's that time. You guys already know, man. Put your city where you're repping from in the comments. Certainly would appreciate it. And I'm excited about the new year, dog. I'm going to update you guys on a few things. I'm going to update you on the research project that I've been doing. It's actually turning into more of a passion project. So I wanted to update you on that. I'm going to update you on some things that guys talked to me about. And we're going to talk about how important it is to be intentionally directional and why that's critical and where you need to invest. And not just dough, because a lot of people think dough is the way to invest. But your time is way more important. So we're going to talk about how to invest time as well. So make sure you guys put your city. If you can hear me, what it do? Happy New Year, brother. Yes, I'm excited about 2022, man. I'm really excited about it, man. I think it's going to be a great year for all of us, right? Not just because it's just something about it, man. Something about the feeling, man. Just makes it seem like, ready to dig in and get this thing really cracking. I've set some deadlines and dates for myself. So you guys have known that if you've been following over the past few times. Those who are just listening, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss an episode. Our YouTube family, appreciate you tapping in as well. Share this with somebody, man, in the new year, man. You never know whose life you may change. So make sure you guys share this. My people that are listening on the podcast. What's going on, CJ? My people that are listening on the podcast, wherever you at. New Zealand, we got a lot of love in New Zealand. We get love in Brazil. We get love in Germany. We get love in where else? We get love Canada, Mexico, you name it. Bolivia. We get a lot of clients. What's happening, John? Appreciate you, man. Pedal pushers in the building, baby. Man. 2021 wasn't rough. It was a learning lesson for us. And if we had our stuff together, if we were paying attention, man, appreciate that, Gerard, man. I'm working on that, brother. And that's a thing we talked about. So I'm making sure. And I tell people all the time, man, this is the thing, man, about consistency. Whenever you get the nudge that you shouldn't do something, like something's telling you, like, man, just skip it, right? And it's something that's supposed to be regular. What's up, Hart? Something that's supposed to be regular, right? That you're supposed to be doing. And you low-key about to skip it, that's when you got to dig in. That's when your consistency is tested at the highest level, because it's at a time where you're like, man, it's so easy to tap out, so easy to retreat. It's so easy to go do something else. It's so easy to just say, nah, I'm good, right? I'm going to go do it tomorrow, right? But when you show up, that's when the magic happens, because the universe is trying. What's going on, Etta? What's up, Mom? I see you. And that's the thing, right? When you're about to tap out and you like, man, I'm about to quit, man. I can't do it. Man, I don't feel like doing it. I don't see any results, right? That's our main discouragement tool, right? I don't see nothing happening. Right. And we don't realize, man, we're not on man's clock. So we can't really trip off of that. What's up, Tanisha? Happy New Year. Yes. We're not on man's clock. We're not on somebody else's clock. So that's the thing about it. Like, and I tell people all the time, man, whenever you feel like you don't feel like doing it, that's the time you're going to have the best time. Workout, class, event. I can go on and on, right? But it's the best time for you to really, really drill in, because you know it's somebody pushing you, right? And you guys know how I feel, man. Everything's a battle of good and evil, right? Faith battle. Something trying to get you to deter you from whatever you're supposed to be doing, whatever your intentions are. And it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to get deterred. I don't see nothing happening. I'm going to just go do this, because it's the default, right? The reason why we get parent, because we don't know what it looks like, right? We usually, you ever notice, like, discovery, right? I'll talk about discovery for a second. Discovery, right? We don't know what we love and what we don't love, because we haven't seen enough in life. right? So we don't know. We don't know what we don't know, right? And that's the beauty in it, right? That's the reason why you should explore and take the long route all the time, because you don't know what you're going to discover. You don't know what you don't know, right? We think, oh man, I don't do that. I don't surf. I don't. Well, you probably haven't gotten any warm water and had a really good time. So you don't know that you don't surf, right? You're just saying that based on one experience. Or you're just saying that based on a person's opinion who hasn't surfed in years or whatever the case may be. But you don't know, right? You don't know what the conditions are. So that's why it's so important to try something else, try different things, right? Giving you guys an update on my situation. I told you guys I think it was a couple weeks ago, that I was trying to get in the kitchen of the fast food. Why? Because I had no restaurant experience. And I told you I got a vision for this chicken franchise. I do. I promise you I do. And I realized that if I do want to go ask for some money, for instance, first thing they're going to say is, dude, do you know how to run a restaurant? Do you have any restaurant experience? You know what front end and back end means and restaurant kitchen lingo? And I didn't. And I realized that. So my goal was to go work for Popeyes or what was the other one? Work for Popeyes or churches. And they looked at me like, nah. And I told you guys kind of how they gave me the Heisman on that one, right? But at the same time, God still, no matter what, right? He still, if it's meant to be, he gonna send one. I'm on Instagram, boom, and I see a burger joint that's right down the street from my house, black on, looking for people. I'm hopping on. I told you guys about this story too, and I think maybe about a week ago, but I'm giving you an update, and I'm giving those who don't know a real update. So I'm like, man, this gotta be, and it just randomly came across my Instagram story, just randomly. So reach out, tell her my vision, what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to learn, and perfect for her. And it worked out. And I've been there, I've done 2 days, and it's been a humbling experience, right? I had to work a cash register, which I've never done. I come from the streets. I'm a hustler. While everybody was working in Mickey D's jobs, I had a spot going full throttle. So I never got that experience, which was a huge disadvantage for me. Right? I never could understand what they were talking about, lunch rushes and and how to prep cook and all these things that you would get if you work in a restaurant. And I've never worked in a restaurant. I've always been fascinated with them. I love them. I want to run one. I'm just fascinated, but I didn't know how. So the best experience, and I've told you guys this, paid research and paid training. Everything is perspective, right? Jobs, perspective. If you get into a point to where you don't like your job, it's probably because you're not learning anything. And if you're not learning anything in the job, that's when it's time to leave. If it's an ends to a mean, I get it. I'm not advising you as such, right? Keep this in mind. Everything I say is based on what I would do. I don't ever want to be to the point where people thinking, oh, you just give me this advice, jump off a cliff. No. I'm telling you what I would do. And I'm showing you better than I can tell you, because if I keep telling you and I don't show you, I'm documenting everything. You should see the pages of notes that I got in the first 2 days of me working. I learned every damn thing. It's crazy, homie. I've learned everything from the cashier, forming hamburger patties, how to make drinks and how drinks go and how to serve people, how to void stuff, how to set it up, how to set up your cleaning buckets with certain parts of solution, just everything, right? Just learning, right? Ingredients, sauces already. And I told you guys, I spoke this. You guys can go look back at the video. I've been talking about this and it came to fruition. That's what I'm trying to tell people. I'm like, man, listen, man, the power of your words, what you speak about, what you say on a regular basis to yourself, to the world, to the universe, it accepts it. It doesn't know whether you're bullshitting or not. It doesn't know whether you're lying or not. So you might as well lie. Even if you don't believe it, keep speaking it. Right? What they used to say, sometimes you gotta fake it to make it. Right? You gotta fake believing in it, even if you got them deep down doubts, like, I don't know how I'm gonna pull this off. It doesn't matter. Your job is not the how, your job is the why. why you need to do it. The how, God will work out. He's got tools that go beyond your imagination. Don't worry about the how. So you need to stretch your imagination and you need to start walking directionally, right? Intention. I keep going back to intention. I heard Tavis Smiley. If you guys get a chance, download either the KBLA app, which is KBLA 1580 in LA, and you can get it anywhere. It's an amazing, trust me, it's an amazing experience every morning at 9:00. I promise you that. And you can go on with Danny Morrison at 12, and then D.L. Hughley, Don Amici versus everybody, which is my boy. Shout out to Don Amici. Make sure you guys check these cats out. But anyways, so today he had on Les Brown, George Frazier, and a young lady, I can't recall her name, but it was Motivation Monday. And I tell you, when I tell you it was powerful, 3 hours of straight power. I mean, it was amazing what they were talking about and just the motivation that you can get just by intention, right? I intended to hear something positive this morning. Tavis appeared. I'm not saying that that's some magical, mythological, esoteric type stuff that I can pull off. I'm just telling you what happened, right? And just telling you how has me motivated to talk more and pump me up even to go on this. When somebody just says, applaud you for your consistency. It's difficult, right? When you're trying to find, like, okay, so what do I, man, life, you got enough, homie. And God keeps giving you more, right? So I set out, man, put your foot down, humble yourself, go out here and go get a job and learn from the inside out. So now I'm in the back kitchen, learning what cooks need, learning about breaks, how often people need breaks, the rules how those apply, right? What to accept, what not to accept, how to accept in phone orders, right? Just the whole nine. And I just appreciate what they're doing for me because they know why I'm there, right? I'm not there to infiltrate and learn it. I'm there to learn. I'm there to learn how to run and manage a restaurant. And I'll be glad to stay as long as I possibly can. But that's the goal. And when you set your intentions and flip your perspective on what you're doing and why you're doing it, time goes by fast. You look at things different, right? The gifts of you get confirmations, right? So when I leave there last night, first day, come back to the house, me and my wife sitting there watching TV, and I'm like, man, let me flipping. Guy Fieri, does anybody know Diners, Dives? And so he has a chicken concept restaurant that he's opening in Orlando, Florida. It's already open. So now he's about the franchise. The place that I'm working at is about the franchise. Everything I've been talking about, franchise, right? And everything's about building systems. Building systems, the way they do things, the proprietary way they prepare sandwiches. I'm immersing myself in the entire game. I'm reading QSR, which is Quick Service Restaurant Magazine, immersing myself in my dream. That's the thing. This is what I'm doing and it's working for me. Right. So when I'm getting the vision, what colors we want, right? When you look at God, and it was just magical, the timing that it happened, right? This is God. This is that divine timing. When everywhere you look, the universe is confirming it. Boom, look to the left, confirmed. Boom, confirmed over here, confirmed. Now when you go in restaurants, you're looking at stuff different, right? You remember how Wingstop started, right? And I remember going to Wingstop. It was not cracking like it is now. The first one. So now that's what I'm interested in. And I'm not neglecting my other businesses, but I'm a creator. I'm not a one-dimensional person. I'm not going to retire doing one thing. That's the difference, right? I'm an adventure. I'm a creator. I like to create and leave stuff for my kids. Here, you guys can do it or throw it away. Doesn't matter. My intention was to build it for you, right? So I'm going in the direction of my dreams. The direction. That's the key right there. I'm not looking. You ever see these people that are just wandering, right? You ever got behind somebody who's wandering? Like, why don't you move? And they're just walking on the sidewalk and they're just wandering. They don't have any intentional direction. They hear a noise, they might turn around, start walking the other way. You ever see one of these just wandering? What's up, Dan? Appreciate that, homie. Appreciate the tap in from Texas, man. What's up, James? What's good? Appreciate that, homie. Appreciate you guys tapping in, man. And that's the thing. If you ever get behind one of those people, you'll usually get frustrated because they're going to get in your way because they have no idea where they're going, right? They have no idea. So they're going to constantly get in your way. You ever notice how when you got friends who aren't directional, who aren't intentionally directional where they're going in life, they keep intruding or impeding on your time because they don't understand how somebody who's on one operates. They don't understand how a student needs time to study. They don't understand how when you're on your phone, you're not looking at Instagram, you're actually looking at articles, right? A lot of people don't understand this. So because they're not on that trajectory. And let me tell you something, unless you got really big, strong arms, it's going to be heavy lifting trying to lift them over there to that side that you on anyway. So it has to be the point to where you're attracted from a distance. If you get to trying to help too many people, man, sometimes you'll wear yourself down and wear yourself out. And I'm not saying don't help anybody, but I'm saying get yourself over that fence and tell him how to hop over the fence before you try to drag somebody and both of y'all stuck on that other side. And I'm telling that right there, a lot of people will miss that. You know what I mean? Trying to, man, I got the homie. Whoop. Man, if the homie's up to, he might get you busted on. He might get you. You never know what the homie's still up to. But more importantly, he's not going to respect your time because he doesn't understand what you're doing. He doesn't understand what you're reading. He doesn't understand the point of listening to certain books, right? I want my mood to be elevated. One of the things I loved about when I went to the place, she was talking about the same things, book, podcasts, things that motivate your staff. And I can't wait for that opportunity. I can't wait to create a culture that we can sell for 35 grand a pop or whatever we selling it for. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I'm interested in, right? Selling that vision of excellence, right? We building a brand right now. And I encourage everybody to step out there and try it. It doesn't have to be big. That's the thing. Just start walking in the direction of where you want to go. What do you want to do? All right. This is the year to say, okay, all right, beginning of the year, you got your stuff together. All right. What do you want to do? What would you like to accomplish? Right? Don't set yourself up for disappointment or disaster, but that doesn't mean that you don't hold yourself accountable. I've shown you guys my stuff, man, but I'll show you again. Oh, homie, we ain't playing with this. 2022 done. We'll win. You feel what I'm saying? First thing is, let me see. Expect to win. Expect to win. First thing. What's up, Stephen? Hope you're feeling better, homie. Right? Expect to win. And I got stuff all the way down. I can go on and on. These are all labeled. Down to 20. And you can see that learn the restaurant business. 2-year plan. We ain't playing. We are not playing. Sharpie. Here you go. This is it. This is the recipe. This is the recipe right here. It's this simple. This freaking simple. Write it down. Show the world you serious and you ain't playing. You ain't just talking a good one. All right? What do you want? What do you want? I told you guys the universe is like that impatient waitress or waiter. Man, what do you want? You've been looking at this damn menu forever. Life will give you whatever you want out of this kitchen. Ask for it. Who's not on the menu? Ask for it. It's a chef back there. God. He can make meals out of nothing. He can combo. And you still sitting there looking at the menu wondering why it doesn't look. It's this. How come? Well, why isn't do you have, man, order some stuff. Quit playing. Right? Get going. What's going on? VA tapping in. Steven tapping in, Fifth War. But let's take some action. That's what I'm about. Verbs this year. What did you do? Not what do you want to do? Not what are you trying to do? What did you do? What step did you take? You take one? You make the call, you send the email, you slide up there. I was in Popeyes putting in applications, dog, churches. And I'm teaching most of these people that you know what I'm saying? Like they're most of the time they go to school and I'm teaching them. But you got to humble yourself. I don't care. That's not important to me. Titles and all that stuff, man. I had bread when I was young. So my ego was already cool. Already got a lot of that stuff out of my system. That's why I don't trip off of cars and nothing. It's just not in me anymore. Now more legacy. What can I build and leave? Right? How can I hook my kids up? How can I hook their kids up to where we got something popping like Tabasco, where it's never left, or some in and out shit, right? Where it's never left the family. How can we work on that? So what are we building now? Even if we're in a job, because I don't want to discourage people from talking about jobs. Even if we're in a job, what are we trying to learn from this joint? We ain't just there. If you're a janitor at the hotel business, you better learn the hotel business. How many maids there are, how many rooms, what days they're booked, how many people, you know what I'm saying? Learn the game. You there for a reason. You think you're there to clean toilets. You tripping. Most people McDonald's. I told you guys about McDonald's, right? You want to own a McDonald's 2 years. 2 years you got to work there and manage one, right? You can't just buy this joint. That's what most people want. They don't want to do the work. Nobody wants to put in the time. Things take time, man. Look, geology, man. Mountains, faults, beaches, states. God's time is in the millions and millions of years, right? And we rushing some 5-year shit. I'm just being real with you. We up in a rush. I ain't got it. Do you believe you're going to get it? Right? That's a serious question. Do you believe you're going to get it? What are you investing to get it? That return. You invest in time? I'm putting in time, man. My feet hurt when I left that job, man. I feel for fast food workers, man. I'm like, man, it ain't fast food, right? They doing like delicatessen, gourmet burgers, right? But I was on my feet. I was making I went through a couple pounds of ground beef making patties, third pound patties. But I learned how to make them, right? And keep them in a circle. So if I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, this is, I think it's valuable. Me personally, I think it's valuable. All right. Learning how they make sauces, learning how long it takes to prep when people come in there and just taking it from there, depending on what you're offering. I learned that more of a longer, deeper menu is going to require more time. So I'm learning so much. I'm telling you, man, when to open, what time to open, what people are willing to spend. That's what's really shocking. You'd be shocked at what people spend at restaurants. My God, we're in the wrong game, right? But I'm hopping in something, right? Challenging myself. I don't know anything about it, but I'm putting myself at the bottom to get to the top. I want you guys to absorb that one for a second. I'm putting myself at the bottom in order to get to the top. Period. And most people aren't willing to go to the bottom. Most people I've worked, and that's part of your story. That's part of the character. That's the part of the what attracts people to you. You dig? For real. That's what attracts people to you is what you've been through, right? We're related because we both been through this. We're like this because we both been through that, right? Most of us come from D-boy backgrounds. That's what our the launching point is, right? We come from pushing that work. But now we're all tired of that. Man. I got to a point where I knew there was something more than what I was doing. I was like, this is it. I got bored. It was boring. It was really boring to me. I'm like, there's got to be more. There has to be more than this. And I realized that. And that's the thing about discovery. And I'll tie back to what I was talking about at the beginning. When you know there's more to this, right? When you start to travel the world and you start to go to like Maui, just the basic stuff, you got all this stuff cool. Then you start to go to the exotics, Bali and Indonesia, and start messing with the Philippines, and didn't know they got 80-degree water in that joint. Like 80-degree water? Yes, dog, at the beach. Really? It gets hotter than that. But you don't know what you don't know. And the only way I knew that is because I surfed with a cat who was going to the Philippines. Like I surfed with like 2 or 3 Filipinos. So they get to talking about going back, where they staying, what beaches pop, what staying Providences. And so you got to put yourself in different circles, man, in order to open up yourself and expose, get exposed to what the world has to offer. When I went to Germany for my grad school trip, that exposed me to a whole nother world, gave me the confidence to come back and start businesses here because I hadn't done any before then, right? Until I went to Germany and really saw what was popping. Grad school opened me up to a whole nother world of opportunity, and I took advantage of it. And I've been going in that direction ever since. When you talk about intentional direction, think Denzel Washington, the Book of Eli. He was heading west. He couldn't see anything, but he knew, he had the feeling, the gut feeling. A lot of people told me, you crazy to move to LA. You know what LA costs? You can't, man. Man, I got this feeling, man. I'm like Denzel. I'm headed west, dog. I'm headed west. I see my opportunity west. I don't see it anywhere else. And once I got to LA, I'm not putting nothing on it. Everybody has their own city. I'm not saying mine's greater than anybody else's. I just felt it. And I did whatever it takes. I just went in the direction and it worked out anyways. And that's what I'm encouraging you guys. Go in the direction anyways. Right? If it feels right, go. Right? Because nothing's going to be perfect. Right? If you're looking for a launching point to be perfect, you're mistaken. It'll never exist. So if you're looking for that, you'll never launch. You dig? So the importance is launch wherever you are. Right? I was just talking, man, shout out to the homegirl, Tammy. Right? She just got a house, just bought a house. I remember when she moved from LA on faith. It was like, I'm out of here. Now she got an e-commerce business popping, 7 figures, killing the game. She's just on live right now. She's doing a live right now. But she used to do hair. She don't even do hair anymore. She just products, flipping it. Bought a crib, brand new crib, built from the ground up. On faith. Once you start to connect the dots and start to see that destiny and massive dreams are directly related to how much faith you have and how much belief you have. The world works the shit out. It does. It works it out. I don't know how, and I don't even want to know. Like, we don't know how electricity works, right? But we know we can flip switches. We have no clue how that works. Same thing with how God works. We have no idea how he works. But we know we should ask for more, right? We know we should go explore more. We should go see more. We need to. And the reason being is because there may be some type of message that he's giving us in that, whatever it is, right? So a lot of times, when going back to what I said earlier about being discouraged about making a move, whether it be the gym or whatever, etc., it's usually something hidden in there that was meant for us, right? But God wants us to walk a little bit across the room and see if we're really, really capable, right? Show our effort a little bit, right? And then he'll give us the joy. Investments in books, investments in listening tools. I've been listening to The Magic of Manifesting over and over and over again. And every time I listen to it, I grab another jewel out of it. Grab another one. And there's more and more. And that's the whole point about repetitive listening. Now, that's a gift and a curse, right? So the repetitive listening can work for you in a good way and a bad way. So the good way is if you're repetitively listening to something that motivates you, right? Something that pushes you to become more than what you are. Something that says, hey, you know what? Try this. I think you're capable of this. Whether you think you could sink or swim or not, I got belief in you. That's all I've been doing lately. All I got is life. All I'm doing is speaking life into other people. If you come at me or you post something, whatever, man, I'm with you. All about life, period. I'm trying to speak life into be. I'm trying to get my Quincy Jones on, man. If you read the Will Smith book, one of the things he said about Quincy Jones is that he finds everybody interesting. Everybody he runs across is interesting. And I'm trying to get to that point where people are fascinating, because that's where these ideas come from, y'all. That's where the ideas come from. That's where some of these breakthroughs and innovations come from. People, not things, people. So why aren't we more in love with the people that are creating these opportunities for us, right? We need to focus more on people, not things, right? We become over, I would say, indulged and engaged with things, right? As opposed to experiences. So right now, like I said, I talk to my family, we do experiences now. That's it. I'm not investing really in anything else, right? Experiences, books, reading a lot. I encourage everybody, right? You want to elevate your vocabulary. If your vocabulary struggled, mine did. A lot is still not to the point of where I like to be. right? It's still not to that point. But because of my reading regularly, um, reading nonfiction, high level type books, it's elevated me somewhat, right? So now I speak a little bit different, but I find myself drifting back and forth as well. But because of my reading, I've been exposed to different things, ideas, etc., right? And I understand stories. So now, like even with my story, talking to you guys about working in this burger place, Glenn Bell used to work at McDonald's. He came for a tour to learn their business once he heard about their fast operations. Glenn Bell is Taco Bell. In Glenn Bell's operation, there was a guy, the guy who created Noggles, worked in there. And matter of fact, Del Taco worked for Glenn Bell as well, the guy who invented Del Taco. So all these guys, I one of the things I do is I follow recipes and look at, you know, how people done things. Look at the patterns, right? I'm a pattern guy. Will Smith talks about he's a pattern guy, but I'm a pattern guy too. What was the pattern? Okay, they went and worked for this person, learned what they learned, went out on their own and created it. Figured out where to get what, who's doing what. Like I learned about par levels. What's par levels? So many, right? So many sauces, so you don't have to make anymore, right? Juices, 2 pages of notes. Promise you. And you think I'm not gonna get it? I'm not even talking to be bragging. I'm talking to be telling you guys, start to move towards your dreams. Start to move towards them. Please do. They're waiting on you in 2022. But what are you waiting on? Don't wait on a partner, right? Don't do that. You wait on a partner, you're waiting on their motivation. You don't know how their life fluctuates and you know and deviates from time to time. So you need to focus on, how do I keep going? How do I find time? Well, you put it in. You make the intentions. You write the goals down. You put them in front of your face so that you're constantly reminded, just in case you're bored, of what you're actually supposed to be doing. How's that book coming along? Did you write your chapters yet? And a lot of times you'll need a nudge, right? So sometimes I'll tell you what I'm going to start doing, which I heard people do, is starting recording motivational talks to yourself. Right? Some of the best conversations you'll ever have are with yourself. Self-talk. You know exactly what you need to hear. So maybe you need to record it on an MP3 and tell yourself, hey, you got this. And when you need to hear yourself talk to yourself, right? You've been there before. Same shit. Because you have these same conversations with yourself anyways when you're going through it. You can put it on MP3, right? Because you got to control your input. Because you'll start to... Somebody, man, you see, like, man, I got this little bump on a bump. My God, what is? Ooh, damn. So and they can pass on whatever fears they have onto you. So you got to be careful who you talk to, right? So you gotta sometimes you gotta put buffers in place so that you contain that thought process and not really offend the other person. But you got to control that. Your mind is everything. Your mind will determine your future. And a lot of times, this is the thing too. I had a conversation with the homegirl too, who was going through some stuff with her family. And I had to tell her, like, you know, look, it's the enemy, period. He wants you to keep going with it, right? Put all the dirt out there, whoop-de-wham, go crazy with it. That's what he wants you to do. Stir it up, and he's going to walk away. Similar to how he has us on the road. When somebody cuts us off, we ready to kill somebody, right? Road rage, right? All this stuff. And he leaves us. Club, drinking, leaves us. Same thing. It's the same thing. Enemy. God. Real basic and simple. And understand when you don't have the right feeling, it is probably not God, right? And when you got that feeling of, I need to quit to do nothing better, right? That's another thing, right? To do nothing better. Because most of the time when we don't go to the gym, what do? Nothing better, right? We don't opt to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to do X, Y, Z, because you can still accomplish these things, right? and chill if that's what your intentions were. Oh, I'm trying to chill. Okay, knock this 30 minutes out real quick. Right, I'll put my gloves on. I'll start shadow boxing. 30 minutes, no excuses. I don't feel like going to the gym, no problem. And you start to reduce all these excuses. Put your gloves over here, right? No problem. Put a kettlebell down here, no problem. But the Bob, we got the Bob in the garage. We can just go sock his ass out at any time, no problem. Reducing our excuses. And I want you guys to start reducing yours, right? How many people on here got Audible? How many people are showing the world I'm committed to learning, right? You got to commit yourself to learning. What am I trying to get better? I don't care if it's fitness, food. Like I bought a book on sauces. Like I'll get better. I'm nowhere near what I used to be. If you knew me in 90 something, I've had 100 updates at minimum. How many have you had? You got to make sure your computer ain't, period. If you haven't had any updates in years, man, go tap in. Plug into something. You can plug into me. I got the updates. Here, homie. What version are you on? You dig? What version you on, dog? Okay, you still there? Cool. You need 2.0 through 6.0 because we on 6.0 right now. We ain't doing gangbanging no more. We ain't doing none of that stuff, dog. We've been updated. We ain't selling rocks no more. It's just too expensive. We're out of those businesses. Oh, damn, that's what the updates do. Yeah, man, it fixes a few patches too. It fixes a few security patches, right? It gets you on the path towards home ownership. It, might slide you into college, man. Yeah, it's a few updates that you need to get. You dig? And that's the thing, right? We don't a lot of the time. Nah. Man, tell the homie I said, what's happening? What's up, Squeak? You know what I'm saying? But we need updates, homie. And that's the thing. We have to, because in order to keep up, right? Because we competing anyways. We got marks on our back. You know what I mean? Things that are that can potentially deter us from employment or whatnot. Let's figure out how to freak that, right? Electrician, homies is driving trucks. You dig? The homies is driving trucks. I know Squeak, his family drive trucks too. You dig what I'm saying? A lot of homies on here. I know there's a few homies on here to drive truck. Figure the business out. You ain't just doing it for no reason. Figure it out, right? And we ain't there to take over, but we're there to understand what the opportunities are, right? And if we need to shift and move horizontally, right? Because a lot of people don't understand that horizontal shift, right? It don't always have to be a vertical shift, right? We can horizontally move. We can move to the right or to the left and then go up, right? Because a lot of times, if we think we can move horizontally and we get that block, man, we might have to shift to the right? Do a pivot real quick. You dig? And that's the key. That's the key, being able to pivot, but knowing where to pivot. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm excited. I'm excited about what we got going on. I'm excited about the opportunities. I'm excited about humbling myself. I was listening. Oh, another one, shout out to Tavis, Chef Jeff. Me and Chef Jeff grew up pretty much in the same neighborhood. He grew up, actually we did. The same cats he mentions in that book. He mentioned one of the homies' uncles in there, right? And I knew the dude, man, treacherous cat. And he mentioned him in the book. Anyways, he was on Tavis Smiling, and he was just talking about how he got started. And he had to humble himself. He was outside a restaurant asking the dude to give him a shot because he wanted to learn not soul food cooking, but more exotic, not exotic, but more high-end type stuff, that food, choir, whatever stuff, whatever they talk about, French type cooking. So he stood out there, and Tavis Smiley gave him an opportunity. Once he got on, he catered one of Tavis Smiley's events or something like that, and that was it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm in the city too, is just because opportunities like that may come our way, right? But I'm cool. I'm patient, right? Which is what you have to be with God. You got to be patient, man. You want your bag? It's coming. It is up there. It's on its way. But be patient. And in the process, what can you be doing? Who can you help? Whose life can you change? The fastest way to change other people's lives is by changing your own. When they start to see you read books, people are competitive, right? Naturally, right? You start getting yoked. Oh, I'm going to the gym. You going to the gym? Oh, man, I need to go to the gym, homie. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Oh, see, here we go right here. Connection. I need to plug on wholesale pallets. Somebody within the group, you should post that on the regular page on there, CJ too, so homies can tap in. And that's the beautiful part about it, man. Connect from wherever, right? You know, if you know somebody to know somebody, you know, plug the homie in, because that's what we all about, connections, right? And we learned that with Clarence Avant. And if you haven't watched The Black Godfather, God rest his wife's soul. But if you haven't watched The Black Godfather, it's an excellent book on being a connector, right? Because there's a lot of power in connections, connecting people, showing people, introducing people to such and such, not wanting a commission, not necessarily wanting a hookup or a finder's fee or anything like that, but just connecting people, right? And if you watch The Black Godfather, it's an excellent, excellent display of what it can do for you by helping other people. You know, reciprocity is something else, right? And a lot of people don't understand that rule, right? And understand how the rule works, right? You got to give in order to receive, not receive in order to give, right? Now, and a lot of people have it twisted. They're like, I need to receive first, then I'll give it back to you. Like, I got a family member like that. He does tit for tat, right? He ain't gonna do nothing that I ain't gonna do first. I got to show it first, then he'll return the favor, as opposed to being intentional with it, right? Because if I'm intentional with it, I don't care what happens afterwards. Doesn't matter. If it's cool, cool. If it worked, cool. But if it didn't, it wasn't meant for me. And I'm cool with that. I need to keep my eyes open to what is meant for me, right? And a lot of times it's hard for us to accept that. We'll try to force the issue. I had to tell my son about that. I said, when you hustling, I said, when you need money the most, man, your phone will not ring. Any hustlers know that. When you need it the most and you desperate and you're like, oh, I need it, man, I gotta. You calling your fades, money ain't coming. Money don't like desperation, neither does God. Right? They'll start to retreat. Oh, you desperate, homie. Let me back off away from you, killer. You ain't you up on me a little too much, homie. You feel me? So desperation doesn't part for anybody. And I talked about that on another podcast episode. With that desperation. No, we ain't riding with that. You got to be relaxed, man. You got to trust that the universe has your best intention at heart. You got to trust and believe that it will come when it's supposed to come, how it's supposed to come to you. It will. God didn't forget about you. You may need to tighten up some things in your operation before you are able to receive it, though. That's the key, right? Are you open to receive it? Are you set up to receive that? Right? Everybody wants to win the showcase and The Price is Right. But if you in an apartment, homie, what you gonna do with that big ass jacuzzi and the jet skis and the whoop-de-wham, right? Are you set up for that? You feel me? For real. Oh, you want to get into the Airbnb game? Hell of a game to get into, Nisha. Yes, indeed. Somebody looking for, and sometimes when you don't find what you're looking for, that's telling you that you need to create it. Right? So you need to leave the crumbs because there's somebody around just like you who's trying to figure out what you're trying to figure out, but hasn't done it either, hasn't been able to find it, right? When I couldn't find a podcast that talked to me the way I needed to be talked to, I created it. So a lot of times when you can't find what you're looking for, you can't find that book that you, man, I need this. I know what to help me. I know what that's your calling, right? That's your opportunity, right? Show people how to do it. So I encourage you, dig deeper and figure it out and leave the crumbs, write the book. You can figure it out. And if it hasn't been done, do it. Most people don't tell you anything. Nobody wants to give away game. I seem to be the only one doing it. Everybody else wants to charge for it. Oh, homies, let me know what you're in on the secret, man. I got plenty. God gives me game every day. Keeps it coming. So I'm not stressed. I'm not worried about somebody stealing my secrets because it isn't one. It's all about intention. It's not a secret. This isn't some magical recipe. What's your intention? Right? How do you treat people? What are you doing daily to move towards it? Real simple, right? And having faith. And you got to watch the magic happen, right? God's a magician, right? He's not supposed to reveal his magic tricks to you. Man, here's how I do this. Hey, man, you want to see how I pull this rabbit out? Watch. Look, all right, I'll do this first. Man, he ain't telling you nothing. He's like, man, when it appears, go get it and start playing because it's going to appear. So ask for more. I don't care where you currently are. Where you currently are is so irrelevant, right? It is so irrelevant because you're in class. You're in a position where you're learning. So where your seat is in the class, and that's who cares, right? Where you are right now is you got a seat in class. Take notes, right? Get your graduation speech ready. What are you going to do post-college? Start to write your goals down. Sharpie, right? Poster board, intention, action, because we're about verbs in 2022. Verbs, what have you done? Don't tell me, oh man, I need to. You need to. I'm going to try to. You're going to try to. I did. Cool. Man, I went. Cool. Man, I sent that. That's what I'm talking about. Man, I went over to, I heard that. Because that's all, that's the only thing that's going to get you results is activity and action. The universe likes, it's electric, homie. It responds to activity. Right? I tell people now in the streets, you can go hit the corners and drum up some business by getting in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But being desperate won't get you there. But getting in traffic, let me hit a corner, let me go wash my clothes, let me go do this, let me go do that. That might get you there because you're taking your focus off of that, right? And when you do detachment, you guys have heard the law of detachment. When you detach yourself from your goals, they come to you a lot faster. It's just like ignoring that girl or that guy who you've been really, really lusting after the entire time. The minute you turn your back on that person and say, you know what? I'm better than that being this damn thirsty on your ass. They start chasing you. I promise you it works every time. And your goals are no different. They get in their feelings too. So chase them, homie. Let's get after that. Trying to tell you. So I got a new book. I haven't dived into it yet. I got it for the holiday. And it's Adam Grant's book. I can't think of what the term is, but my sister-in-law got it. She got me these too, man. My sister-in-law hooked me up. So we got some new stuff in the background for those who are listening. You can't see, but it says grind, hustle, execution in the background, which are all, well, let's see, 2 verbs in a noun, right? Which are critical. We got to make moves. We got to take action. We've been talking about our goals all year long. All last year, 2021, we've been talking about. Let's start making moves. What do you want? I'm already on mine. I'm talking better than I can tell you. I'm already in action. I got my shirt. I got an apron. I never wore an apron. I never wore any slip bottom resistance shoes. I wore Wallabies, dog, and Allen Iverson. You know what I'm saying? And this was new to me, but it's fantastic. I walked away feeling elated because I know why I'm there. Just like when I went to college, you know why you're there. It's a different game. No one can compete against you when you know why you're doing so. That can complete our weekly tap in for this week. Certainly appreciate everybody who tapped in. If this is your first time, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification so that you don't miss an episode, hit the follow, and more importantly, share this with somebody. If you're listening on the podcast, please leave us a review. It is really difficult to get reviews on iTunes, so please do so. Yelp, I'm sorry, not Yelp, but Facebook, leave us a review as well. And if you enjoyed your time, please share it with somebody. Tapping out.